planet a little better than you found it. That's a quote from the late, great Robert Baden-Powell, the founder of the Scouting movement. Unfortunately, we haven't been doing that as of late. Our planet and our environment are getting worse and worse all the time, especially when you consider our water. I'm Connor, this is Caleb, and this is Denver, and we have all been concerned with the current quality of our planet. And we've done copious amounts of research in what we can do to help it out. And we found that people need to be more aware of their actions that contribute to water pollution. So today we'll be talking about the problem of water pollution, how it happens in our world, and what we can do to make our planet healthier. So first, Caleb and Denver will talk about the main issues that plague our water supplies.
Environmental degradation and water pollution are contaminating water sources all around the world. Water pollution is killing aquatic life on a massive scale. According to a 2011 Earth Times article titled "Marine Species at Risk of Mass Extinction," marine species are in fact at risk of mass extinction. This is a problem because this is causing a chain reaction in the oceans, disrupting food chains and ecosystems and causing more and more species to die every year. And this, a lot of people would just excuse that as being, oh, that's the ocean's problem, not mine. But in reality, that does affect people. There's a lot of coastal regions that rely on fishing for food and for a big part of their economy. And also, there's one particular species called phytoplankton, and if they were to die, that's a source of literally over half the world's oxygen. So if we lose them, we're losing the air that we breathe.
Water pollution doesn't just affect the ocean, it also can greatly affect our drinking water. Significant health problems are associated with drinking polluted water. According to a 2017 study from a town in Helton, California, gastrointestinal illnesses can occur immediately after drinking polluted water. There are other long-term effects, such as developing E. coli, or even in young children drinking it, they can get lung damage that will permanently deprive the amount of oxygen they can get. It also can prevent a harm to the nation. As you guys probably know, the city of Flint, Michigan has toxic water lines, and they need to have bottled water shipped in every day so people can drink. Now, you may think that's something that only happens in Flint, but it's not. Many other cities around the country are plagued by the same issue, like Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, and Detroit. Now, Connor and Caleb will talk about some of the root causes of these issues.
There are many, many factors that contribute to the causation of pollution, so many that we couldn't list them all here today, but nearly all of them are rooted in human negligence. Essentially, human waste is being managed in such a way that harms the environment. For example, sewage waste produced by humans is the leading cause in the world's water pollution. According to a December 2014 article from Quartz Media, cruise ships alone contribute over 1 billion gallons a year of sewage waste directly into the ocean. In addition, sewage used as fertilizer for agricultural purposes has been found to leak through the earth, and the phosphorus coming out of it, while it's helping the plants that it fertilizes, it still leaks into the environment and it still does the same damage that other sewage waste would. Second, plastic waste. Although not toxic, it is the most common substance found by humans in the ocean. 8 million tons of plastic trash are dumped into the oceans each year. This is a phenomenon known as microplastics, because it's made up of many, many, many people's trash all dumped in over time. It's everybody doing a little bit. And these microplastics are non-biodegradable most of the time, so they would stay there for decades and decades. In addition, this plastic waste contributes to a phenomenon known as ghost fishing, when sea-based animals choke to death on the plastic that they find in the ocean.
Individuals and our lifestyles are responsible for a lot of the waste and pollution that goes on, but you also have to think about the large industrial corporations. Chemical waste is very dangerous to life both inside and outside of the water, as I mentioned before, thanks to the way that those two are connected. And although nuclear power is a great source of power, nuclear waste as a result is dumped into the oceans, which we all know radiation and life don't mix particularly well. Just an ounce of this waste that's being dumped by these industrial facilities is enough to kill a human being. And according to a constantly updated measurement from worldometers.com, 683 pounds per second are dumped into the water, which is more than enough to do substantial damage in a short time. Oil spills are also a problem. A lot of people think that big oil spills account for most of the oil in the ocean, but in reality it's only 12%, and yet that 12% can do a lot of damage to environments. Big tanker spills like the Exxon Valdez spill in 1989 have massively damaging effects on the ecosystems, and the effects of that particular spill are still seen today, almost 30 years later. And now Denver and Connor will talk about solutions.
There are many issues that occur with water pollution, but there are also many ways we can fix it. According to the NRDC, or the Natural Resources and Defense Council, there are many things that we can start implementing in our daily lives that can make a huge impact down the line. As an individual, the biggest thing you can do is just clean up after yourself. If you clean your hard surfaces like sidewalks or driveways, that can greatly reduce the amount of chemicals that are swept away with rainwater into the sewer that would eventually find their way in the ocean. Another big thing everyone can do is really just clean up after your pets. That animal waste also can get ran away into the water and in the sewers, and it does not agree very well with the oceans. You can also work together with coworkers and neighbors on a little bit of a larger scale to help things more. Carpooling is one of the biggest things you can do, because if you carpool with the other coworkers, there are less cars on the road, which limits the amount of oil that could be leaked or spilled on the road, and that is less that runs off. And then the biggest thing you can do as a small community is recycle and compost. That's less materials that get into landfills that contribute to ghost fishing, and it's just more that we have for us now. Now Connor will talk about some of the larger scale solutions.
So Denver just run you through some things that you can do as an individual or with your neighbors. But I'll talk about some things we can do as a city. For example, the city of Fargo. While carpooling already helps, we could take that up to the next level and start using more public transportation, because that would get more cars off the road. Any vehicle on the road is going to produce oil runoff through its exhaust. And this is just a way to get more vehicles off the road. In addition, we could adopt a porous concrete system, similar to one that's already found in New York City. And this porous concrete would be a special kind of concrete that water could seep directly through and return back to the earth instead of becoming wasted water sitting on the sidewalk. In addition, we could make changes in an entire society, like the entire nation. We could push for more green energy, which is energy that just wouldn't produce runoff. And it never hurts to emphasize the 3 R's: reducing, reusing, and recycling.
The biggest issue when it comes to pollution is negligence. People not being aware of how their actions can affect pollution. Today we talked about the root problem of water pollution, the causes of all the problems, and what we can do as an individual and a society to help fix them. The most important thing we can do in our society and in our lifetimes is leave this earth a little better than we found it. But this is only possible if everyone does their part. Thank you.